Shalom. Wow. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Adonai Kodash. Double honor unto the apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. Right. So what's going on right now? As you should know, Esau is clamping down. That thing that happened the other day with Captain Kirk. I call him Captain Kirk. The thing that happened with him was a setup, and I'm going to show you a few videos and stuff like that of these Edomites that are on the right side of the social thing that's going on around there. And they're telling it, they're saying like, as soon as he started to talk against Amalek in that country over there, then all of a sudden he was dead. Because he bit the hand that fed him, just like how you had JFK, right? Now, what a lot of people say, yeah, JFK went against them, yeah, but they don't know exactly what he did. Now, JFK, he signed a executive order. Oh shit! He signed an executive order numbered 11110. So 4 times 1 and a 0. Let me executive. Executive order 1110. Oh, sorry, 1111. What? 4 times 1, man. And 4 times 1. Yeah. 4 times 1, 0. And what does that say? Well, let me read it. Let me find it. I wasn't thinking about it, so or else I would have already had it. He changed the money system. So he put out a bill, but I want to read it for you. Sorry. Damn. PDF. Oh, I got it. Okay. So I'm gonna read a little paragraph, not even a paragraph. I have to see a few sentences, and then I'm gonna put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. And it says right here, 1. Okay, so this is the second page. No, wait. Yeah. It's actually the first page, but the second paragraph. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link in the description box. So it says right here, this is what Kennedy did, right? He said he did this. With the stroke of a pen, President Kennedy declared that the privately owned Federal Reserve Bank would soon be out of business. Let me read it again. It says here, with the stroke of a pen, President Kennedy declared that the privately owned Federal Reserve Bank would soon be out of business. And before you know it, his head was all over the place. His thoughts was all over the place. And that's the same kind of thing that Captain Kirk was doing. What was he doing? He was actually gearing up the Edomites, and I think he's starting to feel himself. And then a few times he went against them. He said that Jeffrey Epstein, he was talking about Jeffrey Epstein. All of a sudden, before he died also, he said like, okay, I'm not going to talk about Jeffrey Epstein no more. But it was too late, because he already said that, Epstein was a Mossad agent and all that there. He was whitemailing and government officials and stuff like that, by making them think like, hey, I'm going to expose you and all that type of stuff. So he already told. So now, the only thing left for them to do is to murk him. And I'm going to show you even that it was already a tweet on 13 August from another devil that was saying that he'd been around his circle, and his circle was talking that he felt like, hey, Amalek is kind of dangerous and he's fearing for his life. He already talked about it. They already talked about it. Like I said, I'm going to put all these links in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. And but in all, it is the Most High that's setting up the Edomites against each other, the modern day Egyptians. Wait, let me write down what I just said that I'm gonna put in the description box. Captain Kirk got beamed up. And it's not like it's really out there gonna happen to a lot of people, because I know that the devil, that Ishmaelite, that dark skin Ishmael, the brown skin actually, that Ishmaelite, that Arab, he's Ethiopian or Arab, one of them. He's so afraid of his own race. That's why he changed his name to Marvin Gaines or Myron Gaines, because he had some kind of Ethiopian type name, living in Egypt as an Arab, whatever the fuck, man. You see, these type of people are scared of themselves, man. They're scared to represent their own race, so they do all the name changing and all that. They're trying to come off as he is some sort of so-called black person, whatever, man. He's scared to death. But yeah, it's the Most High that's setting the spirit up to where, the Most High is going to unleash that cruel king. I hope it is Trump, man. Trump is going to be a cruel person. He already did some cruel things toward a lot of these Edomites, a lot of these so-called right-wing Edomites. They're being screwed over. They're being screwed over by Trumpy. In the beginning, they were glad. Now they ain't glad no more, man. They turn into glad TV. Man, let me see if I got my rope. Because thing I'm flying out here. Windy. Oh man, sorry. Okay, I got it. Right, so let me get up in a few scriptures. Yeah, so they're already fighting amongst each other, man. Normally I would actually be standing over there, but I gotta stand here now. Of course, because of the rain. But let me tie my garment, man, so that it doesn't fly over my head. Cover my face. Because of the wind. Right. So let me start going on in the scriptures. Now it shows right here. Wait, so, man, I done touched so many things. What the hell did I touch? All over the place. Captain Kirk. Can you say anything? Mr. Captain Kirk. I think you left your page. Yeah. So it says right here, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh. What? The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt, Mizraim, shall be moved at his presence. And modern day Mizraim, because the real Mizraimites are Hamites, but the modern day Egypt is America. Sodom and Egypt. So it says here, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst thereof. Verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother. And one of the reasons why, well, of course, I didn't need that, but one of the funny thing is the person that was interviewing him, he was asking these questions. He's a setup dude, man, because he asked a question about gun violence and stuff like that, and he was talking about, people that wear women clothing, and then he said, shooting and stuff like that, and then the guy, he wanted to come and diss Jake, because he said, what are you talking about, gang violence, something like that. But I remember that he said gang violence, and then as soon as that cue came, you had people was filming other people, and you saw Edomite with his cap doing stuff like this. When they play baseball, they do this. Stuff like that. So they saw that. Damn, I don't know what this got with. So people had that filming, and then you had other guys doing all kind of funny stuff. And then they popped them. So that was funny. But these are the beginnings of them setting up laws and also making an example of not to fuck with them. And the other one example is, well, it's not example, it's actually a desired after effect, which is now you have the right of the Edomites fighting against the left of the Edomites even more. So what is that? Because think about it. When they was racist and they was together, they was actually very strong. There was a strong nation. You know? It's when they started to get soft. And then the Most High said, their children shall seek to please the poor. Aren't their children seeking to please the poor? You know? Especially the Jacob descendants, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to seek to please the poor. Yeah, look, this is what we did to them. You're a white man. You're a white man. So, their women are against them. Their youth is against them. Especially, actually, they're against the elites. But they're also against these Edomites that are on the so-called right wing. Whatever the fuck. But when they was like that, they was actually very strong. It's when they started to breed these kids with the purple hair. But it's not just them. It's actually the government that's actually teaching them. That's why I always say, who teach your kids? You ain't raising your kids. What you're doing with your children is you're feeding them. You ain't sitting down with your kids breaking down things and stuff like that. Maybe now because you know the truth. But I mean, like, before you know this truth, before you knew this truth, you wasn't sitting down with your children talking about the scriptures. No, you just left that to the Edomites, man. You left that to them because you'd be like, you go to school. You need to go to school, make something of yourself. You know, you need to do your best. You're hard, twice as hard as them. So that's what our parents is teaching us, man. You know, that's what's being taught. Until this day, they do the same thing. I see, like people with children on you know, telling their kids until this day, because they don't know that they're Jacob descendants. And a lot of these people, hey, man, they ain't even talking to them. Because if you do, whatever, man. Just let them, man. The Most High is gonna figure it out with them. Or you know, I'm not saying. The thing is, if you get the spirit to talk to some of them, then I talk to some of them. But the most of them, what's the point? You know, I already see how they're doing. I'll be like, nah, you're not interested. But if I see that they're interested, then I'll talk to them, you know. Give not that, because people might think like, hey, you're wicked, you ain't supposed to do that. Give not that which is holy unto the swines and the dogs. Why should I do that? If I try and they bite back, okay, shit. I thought wrong. And sometimes you might think like, no, I don't want to talk to him. Then he says something. Then I'll be like, oh shit, the spirit. Well, the Most High did that. So now it's open gate for me to talk. So the Most High is gonna find a way. That's why I said like, hey, the Most High is gonna take care of it, man. What is that? Okay, cool. Right. Most High is gonna take care of it. What am I doing? I'm trying to wipe things at the same time, man. Damn. Okay, so let me go on. So it says right here. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every man against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So they're fighting now, man. You got certain cities that are, extremely like against Jake and all that type of stuff. They're not really against Asians. They're not really against Arabs, even though they blame the Arabs for 9/11. But nowadays, a lot of these, especially these racist Edomites, they're starting to figure out like, 9/11 is fucking inside joke, man. I can't understand it, dude. So they getting all upset and shit. And I'm gonna show you a video because I got one. So it says right here, verse 3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. So all the good advice that they have amongst each other, the Most High is going to destroy it and just have them just walking in the days. They don't know which way to turn. Like I said, when they was together and they was hating on every other nation upon the planet, especially Jake, they was actually very strong. They was connected. They was helping each other. They was loving each other. But now, they're divided, man. It's like the statue of Daniel is now really beautifully coming in full effect. You can see it, you can look at it. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Here in the Netherlands, you got a lot of crazy stuff going on around here too. it's not being shown on the media. But if you go on the alternative website, alternative news, sorry. It's not even a website, it's YouTube. But because they speak Dutch, you wouldn't see that in the algorithm. You really got to look for it. And a lot of times, you're not even going to find it like that, man. I'm still looking for a video, right? I saw this video, and it was talking about how that the government used to be against the Sodom and Gomorrah type people, but the people were protesting like, no, you need to give us rights and stuff like that. Now it changed, it flipped, it switched. You know, is that reverse like psychology type thing what they did? I don't know what the hell they did, but they switched it. Until this day, I'm looking for that video. I don't know what came over me, like why I didn't download that video or why I didn't save it. I don't know. I was just looking, man. Sometimes I just click stuff and then I watch, and then I learn some. I might talk, Lord willing, I might talk about it. Lord willing, I will. But this time, I didn't think. I was just looking, and it was very powerful. But now I'm looking for it. Like, damn, where is it, man? Where is it? But yeah, I can't find it no more. The point of me talking about all that is to show you that Esau is doing, he's doing a reverse psychology type of thing, to where he turned into the people. Did I say good? He turned into the people. Shit, if I find the document there, which I've been looking for it for a long time, so I don't even think I'm gonna put it in the description box, but yeah, fuck it. So, verse 3, Isaiah 19:3, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord. Pardon. Let me read it again. And the Egyptians will I give into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them. And that fierce king, Lord willing, that fierce king will be, well, it's actually not even Trump. He's not ruling shit. It's actually, but he's gonna do stuff. It's actually somebody behind the scenes. He's doing it. He's telling them what to do, you know. So that's a good thing. So basically, it's basically Amalek ruling, but they probably have a new one. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean with that. You had in the time of Exodus chapter 1, where there came a new king after 30 years. There came a new Pharaoh king, and he didn't know nothing about no Joseph, man. He's like, I don't know nothing about no Joseph. That's awful, Father, by the way. But anyway, he said, I don't know nothing. And then he wanted to do, hey man, I'm gonna be cool. Fuck these people. I don't care what they did. Because of course he heard the story, man. Of course he heard the story how Jacob saved them. Or saved their name, actually made them greater than they already were. Because what did Joseph do, sorry. Joseph did this. He made Pharaoh greater than Pharaoh already was. Because it's like capitalism, because I think I understand that capitalism a little bit. When things is actually yours, like companies start to own things and start to have power, and then they can actually influence things and stuff like that, you know. It's like back in the days here in the Netherlands, you actually had Edomites owning land, owning houses. You couldn't kick them off the houses, you couldn't off the land and stuff like that, kick them out the houses. You couldn't do that. But then the government started buying stuff. For example, like a farmer has a lot of money, or it potentially can make a lot of money. Why? Because first and foremost, everybody needs food. Nobody needs delicacies, you know? You don't need delicacies like fancy, what's that word? It's eggs. Caviar or something like that? Caviar, I don't know. That thing. It's very expensive. You got things of caviar. I think it's caviar, like $1,000. Actually, 1,000 euros. Actually, $1,000. Yeah. 900 euros or something like that. Whatever. A plate. And if you see that plate, you just laugh. You be like, this look like candy or something like that. I mean, the amount look like it's candy. But anyway, so let's say a whole year, that farm would be able to make like 2 or 3 million. Just giving an example. It might be more, might be less, but I'm giving an example. That whole farm might make a 3 million a year. And then Esau comes and says, you know what? I'll pay you 7 million right now, here, cash. Certain people that don't know, they be like, damn. They don't think about the future because they're not prudent. They be like, damn, I got a lot of things to do. I don't have to work no more. I could just, do my thing and be rich forever. That's what they think. That's not how Esau thinks. He has plans going in 70 years, 80, 90 years in the future. And he's going to leave it for his babes. Psalms chapter 49, verse 11. He's going to leave it for his babes, man. That's how he thinks. So he come, he buy all your stuff, and before you know it, now you got to go rent his apartments. Damn. Now you got to go rent his apartments, man. Because that you don't have anything anymore. So now you got to go rent. So basically that's what he has been doing for decades and stuff like that. Centuries. Well, decades actually. And that's what he's doing right now with the Edomites in America too. That's why they can't buy stuff. They can't afford these houses because Wall Street bought all these houses. If you type in Google, a $60 billion, would it be $60 billion housing grab from, let me write it down actually before $60 billion housing grab of Wall Street. So what did Wall Street do? The same thing that I explained to you. They bought, they bought all the houses and then they up the rent and then they sell it all. If you want to buy a house from them, you're gonna pay double what they pay or a little bit more. Yeah. So damn it, man. Yeah, but the Most High is gonna put a fierce king, but like I said, Amalek is the one that's behind the scene, that's doing all these things and stuff like that. So but just like Joseph that came in, just like with Joseph, when the new Pharaoh came in, he didn't know nothing about no Joseph in his mind, and he was cruel against the people, against the Jacob descendants. And that's what I think is happening right now, because somebody else is. It's always been Amalek ruling over America, but now it's more exposed to certain area of people. You have different groups or sects of people, sect with a C-T, and then those people, well, the rest of the people won't know, but a small minority of the people, like certain groups, they will know like, hey, it's Amalek doing all these things. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Let me go on. So Isaiah 19:4. Is it still raining out there? Well, so it says here, Isaiah 19:4, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord. So, like I said, just like with the Pharaoh, he didn't know nothing about because it was a new king. That's the point. So this one, Lord willing, it's also a new king that's now going to be like, nah, man. Plus the devil know that he had but a short time. And he coming down with great wrath because he know that he had a short time. Plus that too, because this is the time of, how you call that thing? No, how you call it? How can I say it? This is the time of entities jumping in your head, man. Yeah, man, now even thicker than it was before. I was like, what the fuck? But I know exactly why. But yeah, so going on. And the fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh, the Lord of hosts. So, who is the king, by the way? So when this verse was written, who was that talking about actually? Well, I'm gonna go to the next chapter right now, Isaiah chapter 20, verse 1. Because listen, when you read it and when people give breakdowns and stuff like that, which is when people read things and then explain things and stuff like that, then when somebody else reads it, and then they're gonna be like, no, that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about the Assyrian king. You're right, but you don't see it with the spiritual eyes, as how the elder apostles at Great Millstone have taught us on down. You don't see that. You don't see that. So what do you see? You see the carnal mannerisms of how it is actually written, which is a good thing too. But you need the spiritual eye, the eye self of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So anyway, let me read on. Because Isaiah chapter 20 verse 1. So I just read Isaiah 19 and 4 and 1 to 4. But now I'm 21 to 4. Isaiah 20 and 1. In the year that Tartan came unto Ashdod, when Sargon, the king of Assyria, sent him. And Sargon is somebody that's always mentioned in even a game. You call this, not you call this. They call this game Prince of Persia. And you can see Sargon over there, like a big, gigantic. He's not a gigantic one, but he's big. He's big, and that's actually based on truth. Because these warriors back in the days, actually these men back in the days, they was actually bigger than the men that are now. But yeah, he was a warrior. The Assyrian Empire, we had many wars with them, but which is Ashur. But let me go on. When Sargon, the king of Assyria, sent him and fought against Ashdod and took it. Ashdod is talking about the Philistines. So Ashur was fighting with the Philistines, man. Ashur is a Shemite, which is the forefather of the Assyrians. Nowadays they look like Arabs, but when you look at them, you'd be like, that's not an Arab. But he looked like them. Just like how when these Edomites look at us and then they look at Hamites, some of these Hamites look like us. Cushites, you have other Hamites too, different, Libya and Mizraim. Those Hamites look like us too, kind of, to a certain degree. But yeah. Right, so it says right here, Isaiah 20 and 2. At the same time, spake Yahweh by Isaiah, the son of Amos, the son of Amos, saying, go and loose the sackcloth from off thy loins, and put off thy shoe from off thy foot. And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. And Yahweh said, like as my servant Isaiah had walked naked and barefoot 3 years, for a sign and wonder upon Egypt and Ethiopia, which is Cush, which is basically Mizraim and Cush. So if you check out the scriptures, Mizraim and Cush, they was doing bad, man. They was doing really bad, man. They was really about that gangster type life, And Canaan too. They was all great people. That's why until this day they keep on worshiping Nimrod, which is a Cushite. They worship other Hamites and stuff like that. The Canaanites, Mizraim with Egypt and all that there, but they don't give them props like as Hamites themselves. They do give their legacy props, the things that they left behind, their works, the things that they were made glorious in, which is their idols, their god, the Satan, Baal. But they call them Phoenicians now. I saw a video where a devil was a real fucking devil. I think he knows. But anyway, he said he was trying to differentiate the Canaanites and the Phoenicians. They're the same people. What do you... Anyway, but they're real good with that snake tongue thing, making people confused. And that's one of the things that the Lord Yahweh Shai said unto Peter, O thou of little faith, why didst thou doubt? So that shows you, like, man, they make you doubt in in the scriptures, and then you're not gonna make it. You need Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to fix you up. You need the men of the Lord that's gonna actually, tattle you up. How you fix up children. You tie their shoelaces. You tidy up their clothes, you button them up, because they don't know nothing, man. They just go out there, it's cold as hell. He have no idea that he needs to button up, So that's the same thing that the elder apostles at Great Millstone do. They tidy you up. They fix up your clothing, and then Yeah. Then you need to go out there and play. Right, so it says right here. But anyway, so, and what did the Most High do? He made Isaiah walk naked 3 years, barefoot. And that's also a representation of the Most High is going to make Esau bare in Isaiah chapter 47, verse 1, 2, and 3, and stuff like that. He's going to make Esau bare because he's going to expose him. He's going to make him naked. And Isaiah had to walk naked physically in the physical form. And then through that, the Most High in the spiritual form was breaking Egypt down. Breaking Egypt down. And what did he do? By making Isaiah walk like that. And also Ezekiel, he also did ceremonies. I could say rituals, but it might sound like a witchcraft thing, which people don't understand, you know. But anyway, it's a ceremony. He did that. You had ceremonies back in the days for example, you had women that would lay in a bath for 3 months to 6 months, and then they would have sweet smells in the bath and stuff like that, you know. Nowadays, people associate that with witchcraft, man. Let that sink in. A lot of people wouldn't understand. But you do have people that do witchcraft with those things. So, but like I said, a lot of people don't understand what other people are doing. But then again, it's also mentioned in the scriptures, like they that have, it's not necessarily weak mind, but they that have a city slicker mind. They're from the city, so they don't know shit. But you know, well, actually, it's not even about that city thing. It's actually more about they just don't understand. They just don't understand because they have this tunnel vision, and that is what they think that it is. For example, you have a lot of Edomites that you know, when I go up in the scriptures with them, they want to reference this as witchcraft rings and stuff. I'm looking at this monkey like, what the fuck do you know? Is the rainbow a suck a dick type of marathon logo? No. So what are you talking about? You don't know anything, man. You're just gassing up throughout your anus, which is your mouth. That's what you're shitting with. Anyway, but then Isaiah chapter 19 verse. But yeah, Isaiah did rituals. Ezekiel did rituals too. You know, Ezekiel did rituals concerning. Well, it's in Ezekiel chapter 5. He did rituals, and you see 6 also false man. 6, 5, and 6. He did things to wherewith the Most High made him lie on his side for 3 months or something like that. Made him do things, made him chop his hair and stuff, all that. And those things actually came out because the Israelites, they suffered exactly the things that he did in a ceremony, which ritual. I just say ritual. He did it there, and then it came out here in the physical form. You know, laid the Jerusalem besieged and all that there. But that's another story. And here he does it again. The Most High does it again, but this time he uses Isaiah. So let me go on. Isaiah chapter 20 verse 4. So shall the king of Assyria lead away captive. So shall the king of Assyria lead away the Egyptians prisoners and the Egyptians captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even to their buttock, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. So what did the Most High do? He made Isaiah walk around naked for 3 years. Man, you gotta have real balls to do that. But Joe, it's the word of the Lord. Because if a prophet tells you, smite me, and you don't do it, you might die that day. Because I'm gonna show you. That's what the prophet did. Because the Most High cursed him, man. He put a curse on him. The prophet told him, smite me. Oh. In 1 Kings, I think. Yeah. So 1 Kings chapter 20. Did you know that they locked Europe away from the Bible Gate thing? The Bible Gate doesn't work in Europe anymore. So I can't get it. I actually can't get it because I got a VPN. But I couldn't get it in the beginning. I was like, what the hell? And then I used the VPN and it's like, oh, then I got it. Anyway, so it says right here, 1 Kings chapter 20. Okay, I will just read a little bit, and you can read the rest for yourself if you have the time. So, 1 Kings chapter 20. 1 Kings 20, 35. So, yeah, 35. The whole chapter is good, but I just want to get to the point. So, 1 Kings 20 and verse 35. And a certain man of the sons of the prophets, right, said unto his neighbor in the word of Yahweh, smite me, I pray thee. And the man refused to smite him. So he was like, nah, man, I can't hit you, man. You know, which is almost understandable, but, not almost, which is understandable. But he said, the Most High said, and you know that he's a son of the prophet. If you read 1 Kings chapter 2, 2 Kings chapter 2, you will see that the sons of the prophets, they could see things. They could look at you and know if something is, they could see, they could look at you. And the high priest could do that too. The high priest could know what tribe you are from. He just look at you, be like, oh, you're from this, because he got that spirit. Just like how Yahweh was looking at John and be like, oh, that's Elijah. What's up? How you doing? Anyway, verse 36. Then said he unto him, because thou hast not obeyed the voice of the Most High, behold, as soon as thou art departed from me, a lion shall slay thee. And as soon as he was departed from him, a lion found him and slew him. So, when the sons of the prophet tell you something, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you better do it. But nowadays, you wouldn't know if it's the son of the prophet. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, you're going to know. I'm going to give it, well, not the son of a prophet. I mean, like, if that's a prophet, or I would say actually a man of the Lord. And the other titles, are extra, like apostles and stuff like that. You just know he's a man of the Lord. And then you're going to put two and two together if these are the apostles sent by Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. You're going to put that together, two and two. But first and foremost, you're going to figure out if that is the man of the Lord or not. So when Matthew chapter 16 shows you that if the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai is with you, then you're gonna know. You're gonna know. Sorry. Well, Isaiah 20 and 5. So my point is that, my 20 and 4. My point is this. So the king of Assyria led away the Egyptians prisoners and the Ethiopians captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, even with their buttocks uncovered, to the shame of Egypt. So that's happening right now in America, starting there, because that's Babylon the Great. So it all starts there. They're being exposed right now, and Yahweh Bashem Yahshai is making it to where all the heathen nations round about are actually seeing the shame of that nation. They're not being led away captive in a physical form, not yet, but naked and all that type of stuff. That's the same thing that they did in the kulaks in Russia. But there they was actually physically naked and bare. And then they did that with the farmers over there when they took their land. His name is Joseph Stalin. Verse 5. So Isaiah 20 and 5. And they shall be afraid and ashamed of Ethiopia, their expectation, and of Egypt, their glory. So Esau is gonna be made into a spectacle, like everybody gonna be laughing at them, like, you was this great, look at you now. He's being exposed. Well, spiritually, he's being exposed. In the physical form, he's being exposed. And then later on, physically, they're going to be butt naked, man. When we're going to sell them on the auction block. Just like how they did to Jake. They did to the natives, and they did to the northern tribers and the southern tribers. So that's going to happen back to them. Verse 6. And the inhabitants of this isle shall say in that day, behold, such is our expectation, whether we flee for help to be delivered from the king of Assyria, and how shall we escape? You're only going to, modern day king of Assyria, you're only going to escape from Yahweh Bashem, you're only going to escape through Yahweh Bashem Yahshai. You're not going to flee, nothing. You're not going to be able to do anything. So therefore, just chill, wait, and see if you are one of the person that's going to be saved or not. Just wait. You figure it out. You gonna find out. I ain't making no moves, man. I ain't trying to do nothing. Just chilling. I just wait. I just wait my fate. Wait for my lot. Well, what else are you gonna do? You gotta try. Well, the scripture does say, study to show thyself approved. So, Lord willing, I am doing that. And give diligence to make that calling and election sure. The Lord willing, I'm doing that. And Isaiah chapter 4 says, I will purge the blood from the sons of Jacob, whether they be actual murderers in the physical form, murderers, stuff like that, or rather they be murderers in the mind and stuff like that. Because if you hate a brother, you murder him, right? So what the Most High is going to do, he's going to wash the blood away from the Jacob descendants. So all you got to do is just basically be like, oh, okay, cool. And don't bother yourself with nobody else. That's what you should be doing too. And just let the Most High flow. Let it flow like a river. Okay, so now back to the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. It says right here, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because you know it that he had but a short time. He's in that time right now. And he's going to come down with great wrath because he know that he had but a short time. We in that time, that's one of the reasons why he got smoked. Because Amalek is not thinking no shorts, man. You coming up short. You talking that cheddar, and you basically making the bigger audience of Amalek land over there. The bigger audience is actually Esau. And he needs the approval of the bigger bulk of the Edomites. He don't need the approvals of the, by the way, votes don't count. He don't need the bigger votes or the bigger approval of the so-called blacks. So-called blacks, I hate that fucking word. He don't need the approval of his so-called Hispanics. He don't need the approval of the so-called Chinese and whatever the fuck is on that side. He needs more the approval of the, not the vote, that shit don't count. He needs the approval of the bigger Edomite majority of that land that is going to support them, bombing the shit out of those people over there in the Middle East, Gaza and stuff like that. That's what they want. They want that support. They don't need your vote. They want that mouthy, spiritual, physical support. Yeah, get him. That's what they want. And what Captain Kirk was doing, he was kind of taking their head and then turning it a little bit to the side, like, look. And they was not liking that. So he died that day. He perished because he was talking too much. Damn, where did I put it, man? Okay, so I hope you can hear it.
One, grab our guns and gear and go to the city to take back what's ours. We have no organization. Okay, half of you don't even know who the enemy is.
Listen.
The second thing we're not going to do is believe what the media tells us, no matter what. They're going to lie. We will be conducting our own investigation. The government clearly does not work for us anymore, so there is absolutely zero.
Did you hear what he said? He said the government is clearly not working for us anymore. Did you catch that? He said anymore. See, these Edomites, that cruel king, he's going to show you that. But then again, is actually the curse is coming upon them. Because if you check, for example, Jeremiah chapter 34, it was the elites of Jacob. Also, Ezra chapter 9. It was the elites of Jacob that was actually fucking it up. They was fucking it up for the average and for the poor of Jacob. And they was doing it. So now the Most High put that curse upon them, and now they're doing it. They're gearing up for it. Man, I've been saying this for a long time. What they're doing is exactly in Isaiah chapter 9, they was gearing up the Edomites to intermingle, interracial. That's why you see a lot of these commercials with that interracial stuff. Why? Because the Amalekites are doing it. You know why? Because they are going to break you down. Because your kids don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't know which side they on. That's why a lot of them, they excel, because they choose the Edomite, but they take a little bit of Jake blood with them. You know, not a little bit. They take the Jake blood with them. That's on your mother's side, and when it's your father, they take the Jake blood and lineage with them. And then they go hang around the Edomites and stuff like that. And the Edomites will uplift you because they want you to be higher than that. That's the same thing that they do with the women. They put the women up here and they make sure that the Jake man is down there. I see it in them games. I see it in the movies. Now I've been knowing games. What the fuck? I've been knowing games my whole life. Always played with heathen nations and stuff like that. So now you see my people started actually come up in the games. Like when I say my people, I mean the Jake men. And the dark skinned men, the woolly haired men, all that there. We started to get up in them games and stuff like that. A little bit, but actually more than ever before. And these Edomites are mad, man. But what I do see is that there's more so-called black females in them games, in them like them fighting movies and stuff like that. Actually, yeah, that too. But I mean, I actually wanted to say the mangas, but they've been doing that. But sorry, not the mangas, man. Damn, the Marvel, not manga, Marvel. Sorry, whatever. The Marvel type of thing. Then they put the black female higher, like the Iron Man female. There been a Iron Man Jake, but I don't even like Iron Man because it's stupid to me. It's machinery. I don't like that shit. It's stupid machinery. I don't believe in it. But I see what they're doing. I see that they put I think her name is Ironheart. Ain't nobody want to see that shit, man. The Edomites ain't buying it. But I see that they put the Jake female again above us. Also with the superpower type of things and stuff like that. They do it in the games, they do it in the movies, and they do it in the cartoons and stuff like that. So I see that shit, man. But shit, I forgot what the fuck I wanted to say. But anyway, they're noticing that they don't have a government that is backing them up anymore. Oh yeah. So you said so. What I was saying is what they're doing is. They do that with the so-called mixed breeding type of thing because they want to put them here and then they make sure that you stay there, which is, I see it. I always saw this, but now I know with the, Lord willing, I know with the knowledge and stuff like that, I'm like, I see it even more. I see it better now. I see it with how can I say it, man? I already know the reason, but now I know the spiritual reason behind it. Like, well, that's what you're doing. You're trying to make us fall. He has all these tricks Esau is a genius. He has all these tricks to attack you. And I'm going to show you that he has tricks to, he's been fighting with the Russians for centuries. Going back even 2,600 years. And until this day, I'm going to show you that he does things like proxy wars. I'm going to show you just with pictures. He does things that, you know what? Just to get my point across, I'm going to show you the pictures, what I'm talking about. Which is, okay, check this out, right? So now here, I'm going to show you the wars that Esau been doing strategically. Like, because, like, just how I explained to you that he's doing it with the mixing, pushing that, making it commercial thing, making it commercially and stuff like that. He's doing it. I'm going to give you an example. Now here, you had the North Korean wars, right? I'm going to put these links in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. If you look up, you see the North Korea is backed up by Soviet Union, and China, okay? And then the other one, South Korea, is, can you see it? Yeah, South Korea, damn. What's up? South Korea is backed up by, damn, can't fucking see it. Like I said, I'm gonna put the link in the description box. So, South Korea is backed up by the United States and Europe. You see? You see why these two are fighting? It's Esau. Esau, he joins this side, and then the other Esau joins the other side. But it's actually like, it's like almost like a Romans and a Greek still fighting with each other until this day. They're both Edomites. And if you look at the language of Russia, it's based on the Greek alphabet. And the word alpha means alphabet. It means father. It means Abba. So when you talk, the father. The fact that we're talking is the father. And wind. You talk with wind. And your tongue. Moving around your tongue. Basically, you're talking with the wind. You use wind. Anyway, so it says right here, então. So North Korea is backed up by Soviet Union, and South Korea is backed up by America and EU. So now I'm gonna go to another era in time, and I'm gonna show you. And until this day, these motherfuckers are fighting. Why? Esau is fucking with them, and that's why the nations, they're gonna get angry. They're gonna wake up and be like, "It's you. You're the one with the hand up the back, and then moving me around like, go fight your brothers." And stuff like that. But anyway, so here you have the same thing that happened in Germany too, with the Berlin Wall and stuff like that. What do you see? You see France, Britain, and America on the east side of the west side. On the west side of Germany, West Germany was of America, Europe, and Europe. France is Europe. Anyway, America and Europe, right? England and stuff like that. England, France, and stuff like that. Okay, that's Europe, and then America. Okay, so the east side of Germany was Soviet Union. So so now you see it's them. They're still fighting amongst each other. And then I'm gonna give you another era in time, which is now. This is happening now. It's actually been happening for a few decades. A decade is 10 years. It's been happening for a few decades because I put the link in the description box so you can see everything, and I'm gonna put a video also. So this is now here happening in Africa, right? And why are they fighting? Because there's money there. It's money there. It's materials and stuff like that. His money is over there. But I don't know if you can see it. So I'm gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna put like I said, I'm gonna put it in the description box. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the thing also where you can send pictures to everybody that's I think subscribed to you. I don't know how that works. I'll just put things there. You know, so I am not subscribed to anyone, so I don't know how it works. No, seriously, I don't know how it works. I don't know if you get the pictures or not. That's why I ask people like, did you get the pictures? Yeah, you get the pictures. So, right. So basically, okay. So what I'm showing you right now is this. Right. Can you see the blue where it shows the flag of Russia? Right. This is in Africa. Right. Nowadays, I'm gonna show you the video. It's talking about nowadays. This era, like this past 3, 4, 5, 6 years. But it was actually since the I think it was since the 60s. But you're going to see, the video is going to explain it to you. And then here you have the other side, the red side. And who's on the red side? The red side is Europe, Amalek. You know, it says here Spain and France, but that's just Europe. Europe and Amalek. You already know who Amalek is. And America. So basically Europe, Amalek, and America are on this side, the west side, and then on the side of Algeria is Morocco is with them too. So you know they sell out. And on the other side is Algeria, and Algeria is being backed up by who? China, Russia. So again, they're proxy wars, man. They're fighting very smart. They're fighting very smart, and they make these Arabs kill each other, but they're behind it. Because the Arabs are going to work that land, excavate stuff and stuff. No, well, not excavate, but they're going to pull stuff out of the ground, mineral resources, and they're going to give it to Esau. He's going to pay them a little bit of money here. Go buy a floating camel or something like that. And then they go do that. But Esau's going to make billions off of that. Would it be? Even more. He might make trillions. I don't know. Never counted it, but I know that that's the only place on planet Earth where you have that material that they found out. Because I know that the Most High got different places. I know he do. But that they found out is like 90% of the world's resources, like what they found out, is there in that country. So my point of saying all this is to show you that Esau is fighting very smart. He's